All right, guys, welcome back. So let's have a look at NVDA. So NVDA today is up 3.3%. Pretty big move up, bringing out of this weekly range I have been watching between 920 and 885-ish, this range. So approaching its all-time highs. This stock, is it about to break $1,000 level? So here's what I'm watching. So you can see we could have been forming sort of a inverse head and shoulders or something like this here, ultra short term, and if it does break out, maybe over $1,000. But right here, right now, we do have a still resistance for the stock at $960 level, which is acted sort of like a double top right here before flushing lower, going lower. But this is a pretty big recovery right here. Today's CPI came out pretty much in line with expectations, and everything ran with it. S&P 500 making new all-time highs, NASDAQ, QQQ, I think except for Dow Jones, which is almost near its all-time highs as well. But you can see on a heat map as well, this is S&P 500, semiconductors, communication services, basically tech leading the way. Okay, it's not everything going higher, but tech is pushing higher, and since they have a lot of weighting in S&P 500, these names are helping indices to push higher. So NVDA, well, what is the probability of this stock being above $1,000 going into next week or come next week, which is their earnings week? And everybody's waiting. Basically, every chip maker is waiting for NVIDIA's earning report and what they're going to guide going forward. So, of course, they might come out and beat the earnings expected, but what they're going to guide, that's the big question mark. So, 22nd of May, they're going to report earnings. What is the probability of it being over $1,000? I was going through the option activity for the stock. You guys can see for the next week, IV is a little bit elevated for NVDA, which makes sense because it's an earnings week. And it is implying that it can move up or down $92 at the moment for May 24th. And if you're curious about $1,000 strike price, its stock going above it, or this strike price being in the money, well, according to option market, there is a 30% probability of that strike going in the money, and those contracts are going for $25. So pretty expensive, but it has pretty big delta. Average true range for NVDA $34. That means it can move up or down. It has been moving on average with this range for the past 14 days, because my settings are, this is basically default settings, 12 days or 14 days or something like that. So, but right here last week, it traded with a lot less average, but right here, it was moving with pretty big range. So I'm going to be watching for the rest of the week, this basically 960, 974. And today's option activity, of course, it is trading pretty, one of the most actively traded options, number 2, 1.2 million so far. And in 30 minutes, market is about to close. So 61% calls being traded, 39% puts being traded. IV is probably pretty high. Not as high as GameStop and AMC, where you can see option activity is very crazy as well. Tesla number 1. But I do believe these calls are being sold. And also, I think that if this stock breaks out and pushes above $1,000, probability of people taking profit and that after report, that stock is selling off, in my opinion, is pretty high. If the stock is above $1,000 and pushing higher before earnings report, and after earnings report, the stock gaps up pretty big or pushes higher on earnings day, and squeezes out a lot of shorts, and I believe there are shorts here as well. But that's what I'm watching for NVDA. That's not a financial advice, purely for educational purposes only. Thanks for watching. See you in the next update.